because I can talk some more.
I've got a couple of comments.
Okay.
I would think of all of the difficult decisions that you have to make and that Scott has to make, one of the most difficult decisions is deciding when to close school, because it impacts a lot of people. And I know that that's something that you all struggle with, and I just want to commend you and everyone who's part of that decision-making process, because if you get it right, nobody recognizes it. But when you get it wrong and something happens where a bus runs off the road, or we have somebody that's stranded somewhere, then it becomes a big problem because it puts our kids in danger. So obviously you're going to do your best and due diligence to make the right call, but if you're going to err on the side of keeping the kids safe. And I want to commend you guys, because I think you do a good job for that. I think there was an issue last week where you had to make a call before the weather came in. You made the call and the weather came in. Now, if the weather hadn't come in and the roads had stayed dry, then you would have caught some criticism. But you made the best decision you could with the information you had at the time, and I really appreciate that. The other thing I'd like to say is, from the school nurse perspective, we've been in school 92 days. I think my son has gone to see the nurse 84 times. I appreciate every time he gets a bloody nose, I don't have to go to school to pick him up. Or if he gets an earache, or if the little girl next to him hits him in the head with the whatever. So I appreciate that. And, in years past, that has not been a break-even proposition. We have paid significant sums when we were under contract with Lincoln Trail to do that. So if we're close to breaking even on that program this year, then we're ahead of the game. And I know Mr. Brady has worked very hard to get that in place, and I appreciate all the help everybody's given us on that.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, thank you. The next item up is 7B, School Board Member Recognition Month. Sure.
I'd like to ask Dr. Billy Adams to come forward.
Okay, I feel like I'm on a King show.
Come on down.
Spin the wheel.
All right, I'm Bill Adams, or Billy Adams. My wife calls me Billy, among other things, I'm sure. But thank you all for agreeing to serve on the school board. It's certainly a courageous and sacrificing step to take, and I'm here on behalf of the mayor. I'm on the city council as well as a professor of management and leadership at Campbellsville University, so get those students ready to go to Campbellsville University, right? I have a proclamation here, and I'll just read from it. To all whom these presents shall come, whereas an excellent public education system is vital to the quality of life in Marion County, and whereas the members of the Marion County Board of Education constitute a tremendous resource as decision makers who respond to the challenges of supporting 21st century schools that meet high standards of student achievement, and whereas Carrie Truitt, Kaylin Reed, Butch Cecil, Peggy Downs, and Brad Cox serve this community by representing the interest of the whole community, and whereas our local school board members continually strive for improvement and progress in the educational opportunities for their students, and whereas January 2017 is a time in Kentucky and many other states to recognize the contributions of local school boards to a brighter future for each of us, therefore I, on behalf of Mayor Gary Crenshaw, do hereby join my counterparts across the state by declaring the month of January 2017 as School Board Recognition Month, and urge all citizens to join me in acknowledging the contributions of the members of our Marion County Board of Education done this day, this 12th day of January 2017. That's it for me. Nothing else.
Thank you.
David Darby.
I also have a proclamation from the county. I'd like to say a few things too. I had a unique situation last year. I had 3 children that attended Marion County High School and graduated at the same time. I had triplets. And just to say how good with education they did get here, all 3 of them, 2 of them attended Eastern Kentucky University. Caitlin had a 3.86, Samantha had a 4.0, and my son is at ECTC, and he got through it, so that's about It kind of shows you the diversity of what we got here at Marion County. Buffy can relate to that. Her son went to school with my son, and so they can get it at Marion County if they want it. So, it's an honor to be here tonight to present this to the board. I have a proclamation myself. Honoring the members of the Marion County Board of Education during the 2017 Observant School Board Member Recognition Month. Whereas one of the many qualities instills pride and respect for this community is the reputation of our local public school system. And whereas Caitlin Reed, Butch Cecil, Brad Cox, Carrie Truitt, and Peggy Downs contribute greatly to the reputation of our school district by virtue of their service on the Marion County Board of Education. And whereas these decision makers are responsible for maintaining strong, effective budgetary oversight, high standards for employment and safe, well-managed set of school facilities. And whereas our school board members have demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the children of this community will receive an education that will benefit them for the rest of their lives and set them on paths being solid citizens of this or any other community. And whereas January 2017 marks Kentucky's observation of the contributions by these outstanding leaders and their colleagues across this great Commonwealth. Therefore, I, David Daugherty, County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2017 throughout this community as School Board Member Recognition Month, and urge all citizens to honor Caitlin Reed, Butch Cecil, Brad Cox, Carrie Truitt, and Peggy Downs for their service. Thank you.
Well, then I'll go next. So, I'm not down on the agenda, but I just do
Y'all
want
should be doing
to.
it.
Not on your first
Not on
one.
this one.
It's a test. It's a
Okay.
test, okay, on response. I just want to say thank you all for being willing to serve as a board member. It's a very big responsibility. It's just what Judge Daugherty just spoke about and Dr. Adams spoke about. It is about, are we preparing our kids for after we finish? As long as we've got them here and we wrap our arms around them, we can do a real good job of that. But when we have to let go, that's really when we find out if we've been doing our job. So it's very difficult at times to make those courageous decisions, but together, teamwork really does make the dream work in Marion County Public Schools. And the nice part about being in Marion County is that you don't have to do it alone. You've got a large group sitting right here, and you'll see at the spring summit, you'll have 200 people sitting there looking at you, wanting to be a part of what we're doing in Marion County Public Schools. So we have a very special community here. We pass the nickel tax, and that's something to be proud of. You're going to have an opportunity to be part of something special in that regards too. So we have a fantastic community. I appreciate your leadership, and we do have just a small token, big bag, small token of a little bit of an appreciation. It's okay to laugh. There's no wrong with those. One of the items that I thought it would be appropriate for you to have is a book. It's called Dream. And basically this was my inspiration with Dream, Believe, Achieve. And the very first page basically defines what a dream is. And it's a really nice book. It has some really, really pretty pictures. But the last page, and I won't read the entire book, we won't go back to elementary school, but I can if I need to. It says, look up, up, up into those billion, billion sparkling stars. What dreams do you find? Little dreams, big dreams, each a hope, looking for a life it real, a life like yours. Dream bigger with everyone around you, with everything before and after you, with everything that you dream a dream, your very own dream. And that's what we do every day in Marion County Public Schools. So I challenge you to make dreams come true for all the children of Marion County Public Schools. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Next item is.
Does anyone else like to recognize us?
Enjoy it. It
Don't-
will last
don't-
long.
It's one time of the year.
Don't throw anything, please.
Enjoy it. The next time it may be.
It might be convened on the next time. Okay, the next item is 7C, St. Charles Middle School student presentation, Bethany and Sandra Griffiths.
I'd just like to say, welcome St. Charles, 2016 School of Distinction. And it is Board Member Appreciation Month, and I'd like to say that I have been a board member in the past in Washington County. And the couple of hours that you're here each month at a meeting are nothing compared to the time that it consumes. So, yes, you may be new, but you better enjoy. This is your motivation for the rest of the year. I would like for my faculty and staff that are here to please stand up. I'd like to recognize my teachers of distinction. Teacher shy tonight, you had teachers long and some people were going to the funeral home visitation tonight. On the same note, I'd like to ask my fellow building administrators to stand. Come on, come on, come on. And I know that they would like to join me in sharing our appreciation for the support of the board. Ms. Foster is an outstanding leader. We are a school system, we are a school system. We are not a system of individual schools, and we would not be that without her leadership, without the support of all of our administrators at central office. We feel very fortunate to be in this district. We grow each and every day, every meeting, every conversation. We support each other, and we couldn't do that without your support. So we appreciate your support to Ms. Slaughter and central office, and the many wonderful programs that you bring to us that we can share with our students so that they are successful as they move into the real world. I do have to give a shout out to the ATC because my son, that was his niche, and it is for me. And when they don't feel like they are successful academically, that is another avenue for them to experience success, to love school, and to see that there is opportunity. Because my son knew, without conversation, the expectation for him to go somewhere after high school was there. He is not a traditional college student, and he is in Troy, Ohio at the Hobart Institute for Welding. And his goal is to weld on the pipeline, so we'll see how that goes. But that dream started at Marion County ATC. So I thank you for your support of the ATC and the control that we have over that now, and ensuring that our community will work closely with them for our students. So do you all have anything to say to the board? You're amazing. Thank you.
Okay, item 7D is the introduction of 2017 Leadership Now Phase 2 class. Ms. Tammy Newell.
It's my distinct pleasure. These two folks are very close to me, but they are two of our instructional coaches, and they are very interested in being future administrators in Marion County. And so at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Slosher to come and recognize our recipients. I don't know if they know what they've got themselves into, because they are really very passionate about the work that they do, and they're going to make great future administrators. So I would like for Corey Osborne and Haley Evans. I'm always guilty of going back to her maiden name because she's one of my former students. I'm very proud of her. And so we'd like to recognize them for being willing to do this extra work.
Congratulations. These two ladies taught with me when I was at the high school as high
gave me
school
a job.
principal. And boy, look what I did. Look at all this. So they were fantastic teachers at Marion County High School. They're fantastic instructional coaches. They touch the lives of so many children. I appreciate their willingness to take on this massive responsibility to be a continued instructional leader in Marion County Public Schools. So, thank you. Good luck. Get ready.
Okay. Next item up is 7E, kindergarten readiness data. Amy Williams.
Good evening. I'm going to present our kindergarten readiness data, which comes from our Bergance screening that our kindergartners are given at the beginning of school. We do that right within a week. We have a small window once school begins, so we can see what skills they're coming to school with. We don't want to give them time for us to teach them those skills. So we can see that we're sitting this year at 52.3% of our students came into kindergarten with those skills that we would consider ready. They are ready to learn, they have what they need as far as, you've got social emotional development, you're also looking at the academic pieces, counting, identifying letters or name and addresses, a lot of different components there. Pieces of that are given by the teachers, and then 2 pieces are given by the parents from a questionnaire. But you can see we're still sitting, we're above the state average of 50.1%. For the state, we're at 52.3. Are we where we want to be? We're not where we want to be. We want to be at 100%. And that's what we're striving for. We have a lot of programs in place right now with our Born Learning Academy, our preschool partnership grant, work that we're doing, working hard every day to get in there and look at those areas that our students need to improve on, getting with parents, getting with the community, and we have a lot of support with the community to work on those skills. And so we're just going to keep working until we get that number to 100%.
Ms. Phillips, the Bergance test to some degree is subjective, is it not? There's a subjective component to it.
The component given by the parents, I think, is one piece that's a little tough because you're asking them the specific questions on the self-help, what a parent thinks they can do, and a lot of times that's a little bit different. My opinion of what I think my child can do is a little bit different than when you go to school or maybe someone else. We know a lot of times our kids don't do for us what they may do for someone else. And also the piece on the social and emotional, which is the getting along with others, sharing. Some of that's going to depend on the situation that they're in. If they're with brothers and sisters all day long at home, you may not see that they can share and get along with others. So those pieces are quite subjective, yes. And right now, it's every classroom's giving the test, the assessment to the students. So, one thing we're looking at is just trying to streamline that process. We want those scores to be as accurate as possible. That's one thing we're looking at. We'll just continue to work on the programs and look at different ideas we can do. One big piece with our partnership grant that we're finding with the Born Learning, parents aren't eager, they're hungry for information. So we're wanting to we're working on pieces, how we can get that information to them, what they can do. Because if you're looking at preschool, we have a lot of kids in preschool, but we have, looking at prior settings, we still have a lot of kids that aren't in preschool, they're not in daycare, they're not in Head Start. So we really need to get to those students as well. And that's one of the things that the Born Learning grant, I think we see a lot of kids coming in to Glasscock that aren't currently in school.
When we see big swings in the trends, for instance, a decrease of about 20 points between the kids in childcare in last year versus this year, and I know it's 2 different groups of kids, so it's not necessarily apples to apples.
Exactly, right.
Do we study why those changes might be?
And that's one of the great thing with our preschool partnership grant that we're working every month, and a lot of times it's several times a month with the daycares, with Head Start. We can get in and actually look specifically what skills we're seeing. And, we know there's going to be sometimes that there's just a difference in kids, but we do see swings in that data, and we see some, pretty significant ones. But, one great thing is that Calvary did a great job of improving their scores and, just honing in and targeting, this is what we want to do, and that's what we're working on right now. This is what we want to do. We have all the daycares, the preschool teachers, the staff, Head Start, St. A, all coming together tomorrow and Saturday for a training for the Second Step program, which is targeting the social and emotional development. So we're actually working all together as a community on one specific program, targeting that area, because we saw last year that was one area we were below. It was our lowest area, the social and emotional. So we wanted to target that, and we're going to really see what implementing this program across the board on a daily basis is going to do for us.
If I'm a parent who's staying home with a 3 or 4 year old child, and maybe I don't have the means to send the child to private school or daycare or whatever it is, do we provide curriculum support? Could a parent come in and make an appointment to come in and say, Ms. Willis, I've got this 4 year old home, and I don't qualify, I can't pay the tuition, but I'd like to be teaching the child at home. Do we have that availability? for
Yes,
parents to do
because
that?
there's tons of resources, and a lot of times it's just a matter of not knowing where to go to find those. And we can provide resources for parents, and that, we want to do that. We want to get those resources out there. Because a lot of times we know kindergarten is different now than it was when we were in school. And if we go by what we thought we needed to know to go into kindergarten, it's a lot different. And it changes constantly, so we need to get that out to the parents, and parents need to know. They can come to us, if they have other children in school, they can go to the school, and we'll definitely get them the resources they need, point them in the right direction, because that's what we want to do.
Are we still sending home those monthly newsletters?
Yes, we now have over 500 children that are registered from birth to age 5 that we're sending newsletters to each month. So that's wonderful. And Marilyn, she does a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.